Hello, I'm a spinning grey cube, and today I'd like to explain a joke. E.B. White, the children's author who wrote Stuart Little and Charlotte's Web, once said, "Explaining a joke is like dissecting a frog. You understand it better, but the frog dies." This, however, can be refuted quite easily. I don't know if this is still a thing these days, but when I was at school we did a frog dissection in biology lessons. It was a long time ago, so I may be misremembering this. It may have been a rat. But the teacher dissected a frog and we had to watch. And we were told this was a relatively new arrangement. And back in the day, pupils each got their own rat and had to do it themselves. Or frog. One thing that both of these scenarios had in common, though, was that the frog, or rat, was definitely dead before you dissected it. In E.B. White's scenario, however, we have 30 teenagers running around a classroom armed with scalpels, chasing live frogs in an attempt to dismember them without anybody losing a finger. Now, I don't know about you, but I find that image, deduced though it was from an analysis of E.B. White's joke, amusing, and its inherent humour very much alive. Now, I tried to discover whether dissections still happen in schools, and the first thing I came up with was this article from the Daily Telegraph in 2010, complaining that schools no longer do dissections due to health and safety concerns. And certainly in my headcanon now, these concerns do very much seem justified. But I just want to take a moment to bring your attention to the photograph they've used here. You may notice that's neither a frog nor a rat. It's entitled, "A Giraffe is Dissected at the Royal Veterinarian College in Hertfordshire." What's wrong with these young snowflakes today, scared to get a bit of blood on their hands? In my day, we had giraffe corpses. How dare these mollycoddling bureaucrats take away our giraffe corpses? Anyway, Boris Johnson made this joke during a press conference with Angela Merkel yesterday. Insert video here. Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to read that bit out.
We in the UK want a deal. We seek a deal. And I believe that we can get one. We can do it. Wir schaffen das, I think is the phrase. But clearly,
you may not get it, I didn't, but it is quite clever. It took me 3 attempts at typing phonetic gibberish into Google to even find out what the words were. He used the phrase "Wir schaffen das," which means we can manage it. And a lot of British news sources have described this as a catchphrase of Merkel's. At first it seems he gets away with it and gets a laugh, but there's a weird pause in there, and I wonder what that was about. I wondered if it might be the audience reacting to a delayed translation, but that doesn't make that much sense because surely an audience full of German journalists would have pretty good English. But apparently what they were laughing at was Merkel's reaction, which The Guardian described as amusement, The Telegraph describes as an eye roll. It kind of implies that the audience were laughing at him, not with him. So anyway, the phrase means we can manage it. Some papers have translated it as we can do it. But it's not we can do it. It's more we can do it. It's a phrase used repeatedly by Merkel.
Wir haben so vieles geschafft, wir schaffen das. Können das schaffen und wir schaffen das. Wir schaffen das.
The context in which she used it was talking about dealing with the German migrant crisis, which in hindsight is not really considered to have been an unmitigated success. In fact, her use of the phrase has widely been seen as a mistake after it was basically picked up and just roundly mocked by anti-immigrant far-right parties in Germany. So this isn't so much of a sort of clever, friendly reference to an election slogan, it's more of an impolite dig at one of her political failings, in a way that could be construed as trying to appeal to the German far-right. So last time I did an entire video on one of Boris Johnson's jokes. It was when he wrote in the Telegraph that people in burqas look like letterboxes, which I regarded as a stupid and rubbish joke, which was also culturally insensitive and a racist dog whistle. Whereas this is a very different beast. This is actually quite a good, clever joke, which is also culturally insensitive and a racist dog whistle. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe and ring the bell if you feel like doing those things. I've now actually, finally after 2 years, hit 10 subscribers, so if you have any questions, I will be doing the normal YouTube Q&A when I hit 10,000. Assuming YouTube still exists then and the human race hasn't evolved into furry dolphin-like creatures.